Good afternoon. I wanted to share with you a new book called The Gospel of Aquarius. It's a book that I finished putting together that is the most comprehensive and complete story of Jesus and his teachings and the path of personal Christhood that you will ever find. And you can read about it at gospelaquarius.com. I've taken the biblical teachings of the Old and New Testament, the Gnostic Gospels. I've taken the various apocryphal texts and manuscripts and the historical documents and legends and all that I could find east and west on Jesus, and put it together in this book. And so I welcome you to go and check it out. I support the work with quotes and teachings from the Ascended Masters, who are the saints of East and West that have ascended back to God and that have given teachings in the last 100 years through various organizations like the Bridge to Freedom, Theosophy, the Summit Lighthouse, and the I Am movement. I added those as well to this account so that it could be a very complete account. You will discover a portrait of Jesus that has been hidden or kept from us for 2,000 years, and it's time for it to come out. You will discover what his teachings are in the fullness of their teachings. John said that if everything had been written down that Jesus did, the books could not contain it. But this book contains a lot more than you'll find anywhere else. And so we begin with the story of Mother Mary and how she became ready and trained as an Essene for the birth of Christ. Then we move into the beautiful birth of Christ from a number of different accounts. We follow that with the Holy Family's journey to Egypt and what Jesus learned in Egypt and the various legends we find there. Then we move back to Galilee and we study his childhood and the various accounts about his childhood. From there, we move into India, where he went at the age of 13 to study the great teachings of the Buddhas and the Vedas, and his interactions with the Brahmin priests and all of that. We also study his beautiful love relationship with Mary Magdalene. They were twin flames, are twin flames. From there, we experience the teachings and the initiations and the challenges and the trials of the 12 apostles. We study each one through the teachings that were given to us by Corinne Helene, who's a Christian mystic and who did a lot of work on understanding the zodiac signs through the Bible. And so we include that because the 12 apostles are on the 12 lines of the clock or the zodiac. We also spend some time on the relationship between Jesus and John the Baptist and Elijah and Elisha, because Jesus in his own words said that John the Baptist was Elijah come again. So it's really important to understand the dynamics here and how they replayed from one lifetime to the next. Yes, we talk about reincarnation. We talk about how Jesus taught reincarnation, not only a little bit in the Bible, but a lot in the Gnostic texts. We talk about things like what having idols really is about, the whole teaching on idolatry, and the whole teaching about the occult and what the occult really means. And we want to move away from anything dark or evil. We explain the fall of the angels. We explain the good and evil, we explain what Jesus was trying to teach us. Then we move back into his Galilean mission, the healings, all of the interactions with people and disciples and the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the various high priests of Judaism. We understand why they saw him as a troublemaker and they wanted him gone. Following this, we study the crucifixion as an initiation of Christhood and holding the balance for the planet. Then we move into the resurrection, incredible teachings on the resurrection, including the scientific evidence that was recorded on the Shroud of Turin. We have the beautiful teachings from the Gospels and Questions of Bartholomew that really explain the level of teaching that Jesus imparted to his disciples after he came back with a resurrected body. Then we move into some of the saints like Hildegard von Bingen and her understanding of the cosmic Christ and how that ties back into Gnosticism. We look at the main ideas behind the Gnostic awareness of Sophia, the wisdom component of our being, who is the feminine counterpart to Christ, to the Logos. And we study the teachings that Jesus gave about the invisibles, about the heaven world, about the beings that we call ascended masters and that the Catholics have called the saints. And so many of the Gnostic teachings have been brought forth again through the teachings of the ascended masters, and we explain that. And then we conclude the book with this beautiful conclusion of Jesus being a world traveler, gift from God that was sent to East and West, and a path of redemption that we can all follow as we truly understand our own path of personal Christhood. That's really what it's all about. When he said, "These things shall I do, these things shall ye do, and greater, because I go unto my Father." So I welcome you to explore this book and all of its components. You will never see Jesus in the same way again. And at the same time, you will love him even more, because everything that's in the Bible is there, and a whole lot more that only confirms and edifies and expands your spiritual walk with God and with Jesus and with the masters and with the saints and with the heaven world for your own resurrection and ascension in the light. GospelofAquarius.com. The Gospel of Aquarius. My name is Therese Rose Emmanuel, and I'm so thankful that I was able to share these teachings with you. God bless you. Namaste.